Hello, everyone. Great. All right. Hello, everyone. Hold on one second. All right, everybody that's joining thus far, if you are able to hear me clearly, because I want to make sure that you're going to get all of this information, please put down in the chat. I am able to hear you clearly because I do not want to give this wealth of information and you are not able to hear me clearly. So please put down in the chat if you are able to hear me clearly, and then we will get started. Hello, Sharita. Thank you for joining us on today. Thank you, Sharita. Okay. All right. One thing about me, I love to start on time. So I am going to go on and begin. And for the other people that will be coming on, they can jump in wherever we are. But my name is Tamaria Smith Gillespie. I am the owner of Royalty Senior Service Consulting here in Indianapolis, Indiana, and I am a geriatric consultant. I would like to take the time to welcome all of you to Stepping into the World of Dementia tour. I am so excited about this tour. I'm excited about the various speakers that will be presented throughout this tour. This is a 10-week tour. And the purpose of this tour is to educate individuals about dementia, also to have people to understand the importance of stepping into the world of those who are suffering from dementia, and also to encourage and empower the caregivers and let them know they can do it. So let me tell you, you do not want to miss one day of this tour, because let me tell you, we have some great speakers that are going to be speaking on a weekly basis, professionals from various industries that are going to be presenting information to you that's going to help you on your caregiving journey. So you do not want to miss one day. Now, if you would like to stay tuned on what the various topics are that will be presented, I suggest that you, number one, you can follow Royalty Senior Service Consulting on Facebook. Also, you can go to our website, which is www.royaltyseniorserviceconsulting.com, because additional information will be put on the website as well. Now, my name again is Tamaria Smith Gillespie. I'm the owner of Royalty Senior Service Consulting. Royalty Senior Service Consulting provides dementia caregiver help, and also we provide dementia education and training to healthcare staff, churches, anybody who wants dementia education and training. We provide that as well. Now, I started the business because my grandmother suffered from Alzheimer's disease. And being the second oldest granddaughter, I was very close to her. And it bothered me that some of my family members did not want to accept the information, dementia education or information that could have improved my grandmother's quality of life. So she did not receive the best care that she could have received and didn't have the best quality of life. And so I made a promise to her at her death that I will do my best to provide dementia education to as many people as possible, so that those who are suffering from dementia will receive the best care and have the best quality of life. So this is something that I am very passionate about, and I thank God for giving me the creativity on how to help the caregivers handle various behaviors, in addition to putting a plan together. Now, we are going to get started, and today's topic is, what is dementia and where do we go from here? First of all, I would like for whoever's on here to put in the chat what comes to your mind when I say dementia. What's the first thing that comes to your mind? This is interesting. And let me tell you a little bit about me. I like to be very interactive. I'm not the type of speaker that wants you to just sit there and just listen or whatever. No, I like interaction because I feel like you can learn a lot better when we interact. So if you can put down in the chat, what's the first word that comes to your mind when I say dementia? I'm going to give you 1 minute to kind of figure out what comes to your mind when I say the word dementia. Okay, Sharita, that's good. Memory loss. That's the first thing that a lot of people think of when you think of dementia. Some people even think of, oh, senile, the person senile or gone crazy when they think of dementia. But one way that I usually describe dementia to make it easy for everyone, and I tell people, right to one, memory loss. I tell people one of the easiest ways to remember dementia is it's the group of symptoms. It's a group of symptoms that signal, uh-oh, there's a problem going on in the brain. Just as if you had another symptom that occurred in your body. You can have a headache. A headache can be a symptom of a whole lot of problems that are occurring, but that's just a symptom. So dementia is the group of symptoms that let you know there's a problem in the brain. And usually that problem sometimes it may be a disease or something going on in the brain. And we're going to go further into that. But first, before I get more into depth about dementia, because the purpose of this tour is for you to step into the world of somebody who is suffering from dementia. So let me give you an idea of what the person in the world of dementia have to go through. Let's use one quick example. If you're taking care of a loved one who is suffering from dementia, and maybe they're in the mid stages or whatever, and they get up in the morning, you have a doctor's appointment, you let them know to get, Mom, can you get dressed? We got a doctor's appointment on today. So Mom goes and get dressed. So she may have on a t-shirt like what I have, and then she may come out with a house coat on and say, okay, I'm ready to go. And for you, that looks awkward because you're looking at, okay, Mom, why do you have your robe on? No, this is my jacket. I'm wearing my jacket. You said we're going to the doctor. It's cold. I'm wearing my jacket. Mom, no, that is a house coat. But see, this is what I want you all to understand. When you are providing care for somebody who's suffering from dementia, you have to go into their world. Their world is different from our world. We look at this as, okay, this is a house coat. You put it on a house coat over your clothes instead of getting a jacket. That's not normal. But to a person who is suffering from dementia, that's normal. So therefore, you have to step into their world, because if you don't step into their world, it's going to create more problems. And we're going to get more into that on tomorrow when we discuss the behaviors and ways to address various behaviors. Another thing, somebody's suffering from dementia, and this is going to be addressed more with the symptoms. I'm putting on these glasses. I can't see anything. If you look up close at these glasses, it has stuff all over. You can't even see it. It's blurry. See, this is one of the symptoms. Dementia can affect your eyesight. It can eventually affect your eyesight. So that person may not be able to really see where they're going at some point as the dementia progresses. They may not be able to eat their food. That may be a reason why the person's not eating their food, because they can't see. The dementia has affected the eyesight. So I want you to, throughout this tour, to have more of a sensitivity toward those who are suffering from dementia. Now, I'm going to start off by letting you know the various symptoms of dementia. Okay. I hope everybody can see my board. Let me bring it up a little bit closer so you can see the board. Okay. Now, these are a few of the symptoms of dementia. Thinking, memory, behavior can be affected with dementia. A person's balance can be affected as the dementia progresses. Um, Also, they can have difficulty finding the right words, that's language. Difficulty seeing things, that's the vision that's impacted. All of these areas, the behavior, the movement, memory is normally the first thing that's affected when someone is suffering from dementia. Usually that's a sign that oh, this person might have dementia because they're forgetting. But let me tell you, one thing that you must remember when you're thinking about whether or not somebody has dementia or not, dementia has to be extreme enough to affect, um, it has to impact or interfere with one's ability to function from day to day. So if that memory loss is not enough to impact the person's ability to function from day to day, it may not be dementia. It has to affect their ability to be able to do. One story I remember from my mother, who told me what happened when my grandmother first, she noticed with her that something was wrong. My grandmother would always go to the same hairstylist, been going to the hairstylist for years, but then one day she'd call my granddaddy because she couldn't figure out how to get home. She couldn't remember how to get home. And from that point, my mom took her to the doctor, and the doctor put her on some medicine because he said he wanted to stop it right there. But over time, the medicine didn't do anything. But these are just some of the symptoms. You know, you may forget how to get somewhere. Forget, start losing a lot of things. So it has to be. It's usually two or more symptoms that interfere with one's ability to be able to function on a day-to-day basis. Now, there are various forms of dementia. There are so many forms of dementia. We can even cover them all today. But I wanted to address at least three forms of dementia. The first form is one of the most common forms of dementia. What do you think is one of the most common forms of dementia? What do you think is one of the most common forms of dementia? Alzheimer's disease is one of the most common forms of dementia. I always tell a lot of people that it's just so amazing how brains, they have billions of neurons that take the information, receive it, process it, and send the information to the various parts of our body. So when we have a healthy brain, that brain gives information to everything in our body. Our brain controls everything, our breathing, our movement, our behaviors, all of that. Now, that's in a healthy brain. What do you think occurs in the brain of somebody who's suffering from Alzheimer's? What do you think occurs in the brain of somebody who's suffering from Alzheimer's? Well, let me give you the answer to that. In Alzheimer's disease, there's the abnormal development of plaques and tangles in the brain. And this development usually leads to a disruption in the communication between the neurons. See, the neurons speak to each other. And so after there's a disruption between the communication of the neurons, they break down, later causing the death of the cell. And the sad part about it is these brain regions, they shrink. Let me show you a picture. This is a picture right here of a brain with Alzheimer's disease. This is a normal brain. Do you see how this brain has shrunk? That's why I'm so sympathetic to those who are suffering from dementia. I even try to tell caregivers that the person is not well, the person is sick. This is sad. The brain eventually, as the dementia progresses, it shrinks. It shrinks. That's sad. Can you imagine? Close your eyes right now. Can you imagine not being able to figure out where you put something, where you put your money? You know, you looking at a person that you've known for years and can't remember their name. You're sitting inside of a family gathering, and then everybody's talking, and then you start getting agitated and confused because it's hard for you to follow. It's hard for you to follow what's going on. This is why I'm sympathetic to those who suffer from Alzheimer's disease. They're not well, but then you got to step into their world and see how that person is feeling, how they're trying to remember things that they've known for years, how to remember how to eat right, or even that the fork is used to eat, not to comb their hair. I've even had some residents that use the fork to comb their hair. But in their world, that's fine. That's a comb. If it's not hurting them, let them go on and do it. If it's not hurting anything and that's comfortability for them, let the person do it. Step into their world. Alzheimer's disease is a form of dementia that affects the outermost part of the brain, whose function involves emotion, judgment, memory, language, creativity, attention, and abstract thinking. So, this is just one form of dementia. Let me tell you another form of dementia. Another form of dementia is vascular dementia. Now, how many of you have heard of vascular dementia? Well, let me explain a little bit about vascular dementia. Vascular dementia is caused by a lack of blood supply to the brain. Just like our bodies need food and water, if you don't get food and water, a lot of us like to eat. A lot of us, and it shows right in here, a lot of us like to eat. And there's nothing wrong with eating, because let me tell you, I enjoy eating myself. But if you don't get that food and water over a period of time, you starve yourself, you die. Just like our bodies need that food and water to survive, our nerve cells require oxygen and nutrients in order to survive. And it's transported through the blood vessels in the brain. Now, when there's a blockage in the brain, usually a stroke has occurred. Now, this is a picture of the brain, and if you look up closely, you see these little blockages right here. That shows where a stroke has occurred. And when a stroke has occurred, it can affect a person's language, memory, or thinking. That area of the brain is affected. So the person may have difficulty speaking, remembering, or thinking. This is in vascular dementia. And sometimes people have multiple strokes. My mom's a nurse and been nursing for years, and she believed that my grandmother also had, in addition to Alzheimer's disease, she also suffered from vascular dementia as well. Did you know that you can have mixed dementia as well? What is mixed dementia? Mixed dementia is when you have two forms of dementia going on at the same time. So it's possible for somebody to have Alzheimer's disease and vascular dementia at the same time. Now, I'm not going to go too in depth into what to do if you think your loved one may have dementia, because one of our speakers coming up in the tour is a geriatric doctor. So she's going to come on and elaborate what do you do if you suspect that your loved one has dementia. So I don't want to delve into that yet. So basically, I want to just stay on the foundational part of giving you an understanding about dementia. There's also other forms of dementia. There's reversible forms of dementia. Have you heard of a reversible form of dementia? Reversible form of dementia due to a medical condition. Can be anything such as if you have a deficiency in a nutritional deficiency, such as a deficiency, your vitamin B12 levels are low, your vitamin B3, B1, any of those levels are low with your vitamins, you can have symptoms that mimic dementia. But if you get those levels back up, then those symptoms go away. Now, Alzheimer's disease, it is not reversible. That is not a reversible form of dementia, but there are reversible form of dementias. Some forms of dementia due to medical conditions, they are reversed once medical treatment is given. Now, doctors can find out if your levels are low. That's why I said going to a geriatric doctor can help, but I'm not going to touch on that now because we're going to have a geriatric doctor come and speak later on in the tour. But I wanted to just give you a basic understanding of what dementia is. And you have to go into the world of somebody who's suffering from dementia. You have to. As a caregiver, let me tell you, if you step into the world of somebody who's suffering from dementia, it will make your day a whole lot easier. It would make your day a whole lot easier. Tomorrow, we're going to be addressing the various behaviors that sometimes occur with somebody who's suffering from dementia and tips on how to handle some of the various behaviors. But did you know that some of these behaviors can be decreased if you have the understanding on how to address the behaviors, if you looked at things from that person's perspective, if you understood things from their perspective, and you're going to get it. If you stay tuned to this entire tour, you're going to gain information that's going to be beneficial to you in providing care for somebody who's suffering from dementia. I remember I worked in memory care as an activity coordinator. I enjoyed doing activities. I thank God for giving me the creativity on various activities to do with those who are suffering from dementia. But it was sad sometimes to see some residents. I had one resident. This woman, I know she was the type of person that was very organized before the dementia. And one time she called me in and she said, I'm trying to get this together. I got this, my family's doing this reunion. I'm trying to get this together, trying to do this. And she was getting all confused and agitated because she couldn't figure out how to do this. And she was the type that had things organized and she couldn't get organized. So I took time out to help her. I took time to help her and I went into her world. Now, some of the things she said did not make sense, but I went into her world. I started trying to help her, looking at things from her perspective. She's trying to get an event together. Although she was at memory care, there was no event really to be get, but in her mind, she was getting an event together. So what did I do? I jumped right in there with her and I tried to help her to get that event together. And she thanked me. She appreciated that. When people who suffer from dementia, they know those who want to help them and those do not want to help them. And if you want to keep a smile on somebody's face and alleviate some of these behaviors, be more sympathetic, do it out of love, help them out of love. These are just a few ways to help somebody who's suffering from dementia. Now, I hope that you learned a few things about dementia from this session. If you have any questions, I want to open the floor to anybody who may have questions about dementia, because I want to give caregivers an opportunity to ask questions. If you have any questions, if you want to know more about, a form of dementia or anything, I want to give you this opportunity to ask questions. And if you're taking care of a loved one who's suffering from dementia, there is help available. Sharita asked, is it hereditary? Dementia can be They say sometimes you can have the gene, Alzheimer's gene, and get Alzheimer's. And then there's some people who carry the genes who never get it. But I always tell people it all goes back to your lifestyle. You have to you have to have a healthy lifestyle, meaning you have to eat healthy foods. You have to exercise, stay sociable. All of these will limit the chance of you possibly having dementia if you take care of yourself. Those that eat all these foods that are unhealthy, all this fried stuff, all of that, that's not good for you. You don't exercise, you don't stay sociable. Um, these can, by you not doing this, this can possibly lead to you getting dementia later on. Now, the risk of getting dementia is a whole lot higher the older you get, but it's not it's, you don't just get dementia because you're 60, 70, 80, 90 years old, 100 years old. No, 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 no. There are people in their 30s and 40s who have some form of dementia. That's why I said it's so many different forms of dementia out there. So take care of yourself. Eat healthy, you know, eat healthy meals. Exercise, 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 exercise. Take care of your body. And this will decrease the possibility of you possibly getting dementia. Thank you, Sharita. That was a good question. Now, if you are a dementia caregiver and you are providing care for somebody who suffered from dementia, we are here to help you. A Royalty Senior Service Consultant, we provide a free 30-minute consultation. You can go to www.royaltyseniorserviceconsulting.com/free 30-minute consultation and schedule a free consultation with a geriatric consultant. This will allow us the opportunity to find out your problem and kind of guide you on the best possible solution from there. So you can book your free 30-minute consultation on today. If you need assistance, you can call 317-661-1359. That's 317-661-1359. Again, tomorrow we will be discussing tips on how to address various behaviors associated with dementia. So you do not want to miss that. That's going to be another big one. You do not want to miss that. And please share this information with other caregivers. There will be a recording on here. So if you missed it, or you know someone that's missed it, it will be put on Royalty Senior Service Consulting Facebook page. You're able to go back and watch it. And like I said, please share this information with others, your other social media networks, friends, so that they can have this information, because this is very important. You're either going to be one that have dementia one day, or you're going to know somebody who have dementia. That's how prevalent, how many people are just getting dementia. So this information is very much needed. And I hope that you learned something on today. And I look forward to seeing you on tomorrow. Have a blessed day.